courthouse. We're just ending court for the day. The jurors have reached a verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. They have not reached a verdict on count 1. And so when the judge asked the prosecution and the defense what they want to happen, they said they want them to keep deliberating. So they're going to come back in the morning. There's one more count. That is count 1 that they have not reached a verdict on. The judge does not want a hung jury. The defense does not want a hung jury. They've already reached 2, 3, 4, and 5. I want you all to pay attention because this is huge. Now, the judge did reference an Allen charge. Okay, he said there were 3 options. One of them was an Allen charge, which is a case from 1896 where a black man by the name of Allen, I forget his first name, but basically this law came into place for them trying to basically get a jury to be forced to reach a verdict and to discourage them from having a deadlocked jury. Okay, they said that for count 1, there were jurors who were basically not willing to come to an agreement. They couldn't come to a decision. They were like stubborn on both sides, those for it or against it. So they're going to come back tomorrow. Now, hopefully, they're definitely probably going to reach a verdict tomorrow because I know they don't want to keep going through this and then have to come back after the 4th of July. You guys, excuse me, I'm out of breath because I literally ran as fast as I could to give you all this news. So as I said, they have absolutely reached the verdicts on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. What are those verdicts? We do not know. But there, at this point, is a hung jury. So now they're trying to get them to keep deliberating. They don't want to have the hung jury, neither the prosecution or the defense. Mark Agnifilo said that the jury has done an excellent job. They're very intelligent, and they have been doing a good job of going by the judge's instructions. They have been doing a good job of asking questions and all of those things, and they have been. Because today they had several questions. Okay, around about 11 o'clock, they sent a letter saying that they had questions about certain things that Cassie said. They wanted some more information on Cassie's testimony. They wanted the transcripts for that. They also wanted the transcripts for Daniel Phillips's testimony. Daniel Phillips was one of the S workers. So basically their questions were about Cassie. With that all being said, they still have not decided what they want to do for count 1. When I tell you all the courtroom was packed, Diddy's entire family came in there. We were hoping they would finish by today, but they said they're going to go home and sleep on it. They're going to come back in the morning. What do you all think? Is this going to be guilty? Is this going to be acquitted? What do you all think? Please let me know by your comments. But hold on. Hold on. Oh my God, I gotta get my notes out. Okay, so with that being said, the judge said they had 3 options. One of them was to keep at it, to continue deliberating. The other was for the Allen charge, which I told you about, the law from 1896, where a black man, they could not come to an agreement. There was a deadlocked jury, and so they basically named it after him. The Allen charge is where they discourage jurors from being deadlocked and want them to basically come to a decision. And the third one was case law, okay, where they could reach a partial verdict. Okay, they could be given advice on reaching a partial verdict because that is the only one, count 1, that they seem to not be able to decide on. Y'all, what do y'all think? My heart is beating so fast. After I saw everybody coming into the courtroom, they ran and got the kids. They ran and got the youngest child's mother, Dana Tran, Love's mother. She was there today. Sarah Chapman was there today. Fahim Muhammad. The entire family was there today. I want you all to pay attention because the verdict is definitely coming in tomorrow. I don't think that they're going to take more than the end of tomorrow to figure this all out. It may be even before the entire day, has ended, okay? I know you all have been waiting for me. Here's the thing. I stayed upstairs in the jury room, in the main court. I did not come outside much today. I came out here earlier and did a couple of lives myself, one for myself and one for Secret Service Sam. I was on live with Ratchet TV, as you all know, but I didn't come back out here because I felt like the verdict was going to come in today, and I didn't want to miss anything. So I sat in the main courtroom for most of the day. I don't have time to be running out here when I'm trying to find out what's going on so I can bring you all tea. Somebody says Diddy should get life in prison. Okay. Who is that says thank you for all that you do? Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. They're going to appeal. All right, I'll call you later, beloved. Said they're going to appeal. Yeah, of course, if he's found guilty and convicted, they're absolutely going to appeal. And that is one of the reasons, in my opinion, why they have Brian Steele. Now, some people in the courtroom speculated that attorney Brian Steele was actually crying. They said he was wiping tears. I don't know if he was wiping tears or not, but after they brought that to my attention, I looked up and I saw him doing this. I don't know if he was crying or just rubbing his face. He could have been thinking deep in concentration. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it was a very tense moment today in the courtroom. They brought the jury back in. The judge gave them further instructions. And with that being said, Maureen Comey, the prosecution's lead attorney, she basically wanted them to be able to keep deliberating as well. And she said that if they couldn't come to an agreement tomorrow, and then, you know, of course, the court is going to be closed for the 4th of July, she said they could possibly tell them they could possibly come back Monday. But Agnifilo didn't want them to worry about coming back Monday. He wanted the judge to tell them, you know, to keep deliberating and have them come in tomorrow, and hopefully they could reach a verdict for count 1 by then. Okay? Somebody says guilty, hung, or plea. They have not come to a decision. As I said, for those of you who are joining late, they have already reached a decision for counts 2 through 5. They could not come to a unanimous decision on count 1. Now, the judge did tell them to go home, not to look at anything on social media, not to read anything, not to talk to anyone, not even to talk to other jurors. When they return in the morning, not to come into court, go straight into the deliberating room, and basically not to discuss it even amongst themselves until all 12 of them were seated. And he also told them not to be persuaded by anyone else, not to go against their own convictions and their own consciousness and what they thought was absolutely right and true, to go by that, do the best, you know, to come to a unanimous decision, but don't allow pressure or sympathy to make you go a route that you really don't want to go. They wanted to also not make them feel rushed. So again, this is breaking news. The verdict has not come out yet, but the fact that they have reached the verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they only have one more, and they have a huge discrepancy because the judge basically said from the letter that they sent to the court, basically said that it is both sides of the people that want guilty on count 1, the ones that don't want guilty on count 1. Well, both of them are basically stubborn. Okay, I can't remember the exact terminology that he used, but it's like they're not negotiating on it. It's like they're just saying we can't come to a conclusion. We just can't do it. We can't come to a conclusion on this. And so prosecution and defense both decided that that's what they need to do, is keep working at it until they reach a decision. Now, by the fact that the 4th of July is coming up, I think that they've been working hard and doing a good job, I believe, because they were asking questions. Now, to me, when they were asking questions both yesterday about the rug with a D distribution, and by the fact that they were asking questions today about Cassie's testimony and Daniel Phillips' testimony, I feel like they are trying to do their best to come to an accurate decision and the best conclusion. And I think that it's good that they're asking questions because that lets us know that they're taking this seriously. Okay? And also the fact that they were concerned about juror number 25, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. The fact that they were concerned about juror number 25 not wanting to follow the judge's instructions. The fact that they reported that and let that be known, shows that these people are serious. They're trying to do the right thing, okay? We don't know how it's gonna go. All right, so with that all being said, thank you, moderators, for blocking the trolls, clown jury. I mean, you call it what you want. You don't hurt my feelings, boo-boo. If you're mad, why are you on this channel? Ask yourself. So with that all being said, Queen, you're so sweet. Thank you for letting us know. You're welcome, beloved. You are absolutely welcome. So listen, Big Dog says, what's your opinion? In my opinion, I already told you all earlier today what my opinion was. That I felt the states or the government had not proven their case beyond a reasonable doubt. I told you all earlier that I thought it was going to be a hung jury. But I also said in the courtroom today, while we're all waiting to find out what's going to happen, I told people that if it is a hung jury, the judge is not going to roll with that. I believe the judge would make them go back and continue deliberating. But as it turns out, it wasn't the judge that made the decision. It was both the prosecution and the defense. Okay, so again, this is very good news. You're doing a wonderful job, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, for all of you who have been supporting me, whether you agree with my opinions or not, whether you agree with my commentary or not, I want to thank you all. Okay, I appreciate you. And for those of you who don't like my opinion, that's fine too. But for those of you that are disrespectful, who want to try to call me names, or you get mad in your feelings, you really need to leave my channel. Because when I get to the house and I have time, I'm going to ban you anyway. So you might as well just ban yourselves. Okay? With that all being said, you rock, Queen. Okay? Thank you, beloved. So listen, I'm going to get out of here because as you can see, it's raining really, really hard. I may do another live when I get to the house. I'm going to be back here real early in the morning because I'm going to make sure I'm in that main courtroom when the verdict comes in. And I do believe it's coming in tomorrow. Only one more count. How much longer could it take? And I know that they're ready to get this over with. Okay? So with that all been said, I love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives.